Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. I just want to give my 164 cents about that Taylor Swift song, Me, which features Brendon Urie of Panic at the Disco. So let's get into my thoughts of that. So if I'm to be very honest, the first time I listened to it, I actually kind of did like it. But subsequent listens, my interest quickly died out. First, let me pick on it stylistically, okay? It's a very fun poppy song, okay? It has this lighthearted feeling to it. It's definitely a very stark contrast to the lead single Reputation, Look What You Made Me Do. That one had a very dark vibe, very electronic heavy, while this one was, very happy and, just celebrational and all that. Just thinking, because many of the songs on the radio right now has this very R&B, moody type vibe. So for this song to go onto radio, just something more cheery, more, it just, you hear Pazel in the sound of the song. And of course, obviously, when you watch the music video, you think of Pazel colors, which, by the way, the music video did a great job at bringing the song to life. Not my favorite, it's a little cringy at times. Definitely had this, this life Paisley giving feel to it. But so I do feel like it was very interesting to send this song to radio and call it the lead single. And mind you, I have not listened to the album, okay? Just saying, this type of song for it to go to the radio and just bring this happy sound. Very interesting, you know what I mean? It definitely has a very heavy emphasis on the drums. That's just many pop songs or just songs in general today. Just even rock songs, if you really think about it, there's just a very heavy emphasis on drums or an obvious beat. I guess that's typical, but we can't stay on beats forever, In terms of production, I feel like just when I listen to the second verse, I just feel like there's too much contrast between Brendon's and Taylor's voices. I don't know whether it be the sonics or just how they're singing, or like, I do understand that there has to be some form of contrast because you don't want it too similar and too smooth and silky, both of them, that just flows too nicely. But at the same time, it did have an aspect where it just didn't flow smooth enough. But if I'm to be very honest, I do feel like Brendon was the perfect match for Taylor in this song. But again, even though this song has a very lighthearted feel, I do feel like it is a forgettable song. It just doesn't have a big zing to it. It kind of sounds like one of those songs on an album that you would easily forget, unless it was chosen to be the lead single, and the fact that there's a pretty big feature on it. It just doesn't really stand out very well, just as a song itself. But lyrically, I kind of fall in the middle a little bit. I feel like the overall message of the song is, hey, I know I'm not perfect, but I'm not all that bad, so whatever. I mean, we do have to be reminded that nobody's perfect, and sometimes we set too high of standards, in a bad way, like, I can never be this perfect. No, only Jesus is perfect, right? But he works in us so we can be better people, right? That's what, as Christians, it's that sanctifying process, right? We dwell in him, and he brings us, to life, and we are able to live, for him. Thing is, I feel like the song resents one thing: change. I mean, the song's lyrics, it's just like, this is who I am, and this is who you decided to be with, and so if you don't like these aspects of me, I'm sorry, this is who I am, and I'm not going to change. And I do feel like that is a bit of a dangerous mentality for people. Yes, we do need to be able to embrace, people and who they are, but that does not mean that we have to be stuck in this place where we do not change. Change is a very important aspect of human lives. You know what? I hate change. It's admitting. I don't like it. I don't like moving from place to place. I don't like getting new friends. Not that I don't like people. I'm just saying that, I just wish I could live in one house for a long time. I wish I had these friends for longer than I did. But it's just part of human lives. And for you as a person, you change. I mean, you were tiny at one point. Now you're probably big, or you're gonna get bigger. Well, look at me. There's no way I could have fit in a mommy's womb like this. I grew. That's just part of change, and that's part of life. That I've also matured as a person, right? I've gotten better. There's just, like, compared to me, like probably even a year ago, like I'm just a different person. It's just part of life and change, and it's for the better. But when you come to a point, it's like these are aspects of me, and this is who I am. You can't change me, whatever. Listen, my point is you do have to love people, right? But as you love people, you encourage them and inspire them to change and become better people. We have to do that. We cannot stay in one spot and just be like, this is who I am and whatever, I can't do anything about it. So yes, you should be happy the way you are, right? Whether it be body positivity, I'm not sure if that's a proper term, or, just maybe interesting quirks about you, you are special, but you can mature and become a better person. You can learn new things. You can, there's so much potential in you. But if you just say, this is who I am and I can't change it, I just feel like that's especially the case for many of the people who use the Enneagram, which is a super cool tool. But some people will say, like, well, since I'm a 6, I'm super loyal, so I don't know much about the Enneagram. But I'm just saying, because I'm a 6, I do things this way, and thus I'm not going to change that. If you don't like that, I'm sorry. That's just what 6s do. But no, the negatives about your Enneagram number should inspire you to change and become a better person, right? So I don't know the Enneagram super well, but if you have this negative quality, you should be working to do better and for it not to become a negative quality. We should be trying to become better people. We should not be content with just who we are, whatever. We should be trying to become better people. Listen, you are very special, but don't live in a rut. Grow, bloom, and blossom. Also, the bridge was just out of place lyrically because in the end, this was a love song. Taylor Swift was not trying to promote this as a love song, but admit it, it's a love song. Even with its self-empowering anthemness, it just is a love song. So the bridge is just out of place because that fits better in a self-empowering anthem. It just didn't really fit right. And of course, hey kids, spelling is fun. Why? Or, calling yourself a cool chick or a lame guy. Why? I just feel like they were just trying to write the song for kids. Obviously, hey kids, spelling is fun. Yeah, it's for kids. But, I don't know, it's very, very basic. It's a cute song, but it just could be more. Just the aspect of, yeah, accept who you are, but you should want to become better. But also, probably just, I wasn't expecting a love song. That's not how Taylor was advertising this song. So just in comparison to the lead singles of Reputation and Lover, I do like Look What You Made Me Do better. I kind of like the sound of Look What You Made Me Do better. I know it's not a great song, but one thing about, if I'm to compare Me and Look What You Made Me Do, Me had a more satisfying chorus than Look What You Made Me Do. Because in Look, it just had this intense build-up, and then it just, plummeted. Just, oh! Look what you made me do. This it just flowed in Me, it had a satisfying chorus, It didn't have to be, bombastic, but it was satisfying, So yeah, Me is not the greatest song in the world. Like I said, I do feel like there's an aspect where it's a little, arrogant to the realities of life that, change is part of life and that we should embrace change and we should want to change and become better people. But at the same time, it does have this aspect where it's like, you know what? Don't put yourself down too much. That is something what we do need to remember because, there are two extremes of, you are just so much of a perfectionist that you have to be top tier, or there's the aspect where it's like, you know what? I don't care. You know what? We have to find the perfect medium, right? You do want to become better, but at the same time, you do realize that God made you special and He loves you very much, right? Not a huge fan of the song in the end. I feel like it comes down to the stylistics of just me wanting to listen to the song again. It just doesn't really sweep me up in a way. But that's my opinion, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good rest of the day and God bless.